What up, everybody? This is your boy Dedrian Colon from House of Rasslin, and this is my review for the November 10th episode of MLW Fusion. Yes, the season premiere of MLW Fusion. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notification so that you are notified when the House of Rasslin drops its latest content. Follow me, Dedrian180, on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. Man, it's so good to see MLW back. I've missed it. This is one of my favorite promotions. In my previous reviews for MLW, just like Wild Women of Wrestling, I've said numerous times that MLW is a fun, complementary alternative to the WWE and AEW Impact Wrestling. It's so fun. It has a little bit of the Lucha Underground type vignettes and backstage segments, and it just has a bright product and it's just fun, and it's only an hour, which I'm starting to realize that the programs that have for me in particular, that I find the most fun and just like, oh man, it's all right, let me catch it, are the wrestling programs that are only an hour. The other programs that are 2 hours, and of course WWE Raw is 3 hours, those are more very challenging. Like it's got to be really sophisticated, and just the creative just has to have that right to keep me engaged. For the most part, it does, because if it wasn't engaging, I wouldn't reviewing it. For the most part, but no, I'm so glad that MLW Fusion is back, and a few surprises, and one feud that came out of this episode that I have to say, it's a feud I didn't realize I wanted. And I do want it because it's two talkers that are really good. One, he is one of my favorite, the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. And surprisingly, this guy has done a 180 since he has left the WWE, and he has grown his stock outside of WWE, and that is the real one, Enzo Amore. Of course, Enzo Amore is his WWE name, but he goes by Real One. That feud is, man, but I'll get into it a little bit later. But first, I'm going to give you guys the results for this episode of the season premiere of MLW Fusion on November 10th. So, here it goes. In the opening match, Myron Reed defeated Arez, La Estera, and Lince Dorado in a fatal four-way match. Then we had Casey Navarro defeat Mini Abismo Negro. Then you had Scarlett Bordeaux. Yes, Scarlett Bordeaux, who is on the WWE SmackDown roster. She defeated Clara Caras. And do have to clarify that if you see Scarlett and Killer Cross in MLW, this was shot, I believe, in the early summer. So if you're like, man, how could they appear here, but they're contracted here? That's how the whole thing is. Ooh, man, I totally forgive me, guys. So yeah, their appearance in MLW in these episodes were before they signed with WWE as far as returning to the WWE. So if you wondered, like, man, why is it? That's why. Then in the main event, Jacob Fatu won by disqualification, defeating Real One Enzo Amore. And I'm going to go call him that. That way you guys are familiar with who I'm talking about. Because if I say Real One, you're like, who's Real One? Who's that guy? But if I say Enzo Amore, you're like, oh, okay, got it. So yeah, that is the results for the season premiere of MLW Fusion. Man, these were just simple Man, these matches were fun. So it starts off with the Samoan SWAT team. They're outside the arena, and they try to go in, and Cesar Duran's henchmen, they're preventing them, and then Microman comes out, and then he hits the henchman in his huevos and his midsection, and they walk past him and everything. That was pretty fun. So the opening match, Lince Dorado, La Estrella, Arez, and Myron Reed, fatal four-way. Man, this was a match, man. You had Estrella hit a Topa Suicida, So, however that freaking thing is pronounced, forgive me, guys. I know I hack up some words in my reviews. Forgive me, guys. Forgive me. Then you had Arez and Dorado have their back and forth. Then you had Lentz do a flipping stunner on Myron Reed. Then you had Arez do a submission on Lentz Dorado while he DDT'd Estrella. That was a sequence that, go back and watch it. Again, these episodes, I don't believe they have been uploaded on the MLW YouTube channel, but they are available on Pro Wrestling TV. Check it out. I watch it through the Plex app, or you can watch it on the website. This is a fun app to watch MLW and other professional wrestling organizations on there. This is fun. But man, that was a crazy spot that they did. Then you had the somewhat buckle bomb Myron Reed did on the outside. Then you had the spike rata by Estrella. And then you had the double cutter by Myron Reed. He gets the pin. 1, 2, 3. He wins. Again, if you guys aren't familiar, Myron Reed is with Alex Kane and Mr. Thomas with the Boomaya Club, which I love that faction, man. It's not the Boomaya Club. It's just Boomaya. I love that faction, man. I love it. They fit. Really interested to see how this plays out going forward this season for MLW and for the Boomaya. Man, they're fun. Check them out. Google them. Watch them. Great guys. Then post-match, you got Boomaya, Myron Reed. He says, I'm going to send them back to where they came from. And he's just going on. Like, Myron Reed from 2 years ago when he was teaming with Jordan Oliver, and I remember this with MLW. From that point to where he is now, man, the guy is progressed dramatic. Like, he's accelerated his growth, man. This guy is a great performer. And just like Casey Navarro, man, it's like these guys are names you need to keep an eye on because somebody's going to be, hey, you talk to you business. Remember this review, Myron Reed in 2023, man, because he's doing some really good stuff. I think he's done a few things with what's it, GCW recently. But yeah, check out Myron Reed, his stuff. Go on his social media and YouTube. Check out his stuff, man. He's a very talented wrestler that you need to keep an eye on. From there, we go to video package. Willie Mack is coming to MLW. Yes, formerly of Impact Wrestling, he is headed to MLW. If you are not familiar with his stuff, and most wrestling fans should be, for me, he's more entertaining in AAA than he is or was in Impact Wrestling. That's just my preference. Because when he starts dancing in AAA and just, he's so over with the crowd and he has so much charisma and it's so contagious and just, it just draws you in. Like, man, I'm really, that's a guy I'm looking forward to how he's going to be used in MLW and who he's going to feud with because, man, not only is the guy charismatic, he can go. So this is going to be fun. Then we get a video earlier of Cesar Duran, and he's talking on the phone. He's like, yeah, I got to talk to Bauer tonight. Then you got Rich Holiday and Alicia Toot. They show up. He's saying, show me gratitude. Promises him a title opportunity in 2 weeks. Falls count anywhere. Cesar Duran's like, if you fail, this would be your last time. And then he tells the henchman, he gives a chain. He's like, catch Microman and end him already. So, of course, you have this feud between Cesar Duran and Microman, which is freaking hilarious, man. And Microman is so entertaining, man. The way they use him in MLW is so simple, effective, and it's so much fun to watch because he gets his in the end. Like, they disrespect, they dismiss Microman. They're like, oh, he's, yeah, it's Microman. He's He's a short guy, blah blah blah. But man, Micro Man gets his stuff in. It's very entertaining, man. I love it. Then we get the match between Casey Navarro and Mini Abismo Negro. Uh, there is a super Hurricane Rana that Mini Abismo Negro performed. That please check out this match. Please check out this match. Then at a certain point in the match, you had the satellite DDT by Casey Navarro. Then he executes a running neck breaker for the pin. 1, 2, 3. Man, compared to when I first saw Casey Navarro 2 years ago when he was in Impact, and I believe he was in the X Division and just had him. Like, along with Myron Reed, you need to keep an eye on Casey Navarro because this guy, he's climbing the ranks as far as draws in professional wrestling, especially on the indie scene. Like, he's growing his stock where, again, like Cody Rhodes' quote is, from undesirable to undeniable. Like, Casey Navarro and Myron Reed are getting to that level of undeniable. Like, you can't deny what these guys are doing, how they're performing, their look, just their presentation, their the whole package, man. You can't deny them. And man, Casey Navarro looked good, and I can tell from 2 years ago, like, this guy has gotten cut. Like, he is gone, man, he is ripped. So keep an eye on him because he's got a future, man. And by future, like, the future is bright for this guy. Then we get an update on Alex Hammerstone. He was attacked by Richard Holiday the week before at Battle Riot from Cesar Duran's group, and they did a CT scan. He had a rib cartilage fracture. He's day-to-day. They said maybe 2 to 3 months. I believe that's what they said. And he's supposed to defend the title next week, which is questionable. Which, when you have that, you can't defend within the weeks. Like, probably going to be some months. Again, I believe this is according to storyline. I don't believe that he is actually hurt. But then again, the lines are blurred, which you just got to watch next week to find out if he's going to wrestle Richard Holiday for that title. Then we got a backstage segment with Mance Warner. He talks about he's been to Canada, Mexico. He issues a warning to Mads Kruger. I'm going to stomp his head in. Then we go to a backstage segment, or actually a video segment with Real One. And man, he calls Jacob Fatu a poor man's Rikishi. He says it's on site. He's like, I'm a real one. He goes into a lot of stuff that you just have to watch this. And this is why I said earlier on in this video that, man, I did not know I needed or I wanted the Real One, Enzo Amore versus Jacob Fatu, because they could give some, there's some talkers. So with this and just the physicality that Enzo was doing later on in the night, I'll get to a little bit later, but watch this promo because, man, this was, I'm not going to say, oh my God, this was the greatest promo, but just watch this promo because it's a glimpse of where we all know Enzo can go, and the stuff that he was cutting in WWE was like, ooh, oh, like you saw the potential. So, man, this is going to be fun to see where Enzo goes in MLW. And then, of course, hey, what happens in 2023 and 2024 if he, where he goes in professional wrestling. But man, he's really done a 180 from where he was when he left WWE. And it's good to see because you saw the talent in Real One Enzo Amore, and just to see him getting his feet wet and just having someone like Jacob Fatu to work with, like, man, this is going to be fun. So then we get a backstage segment with Savio Vega and Lince Dorado. They're walking down the hallway, and then they notice a guy in I believe a janitor's closet just knocked out, and they're calling security like, hey, we need somebody to check this out. Hey, this guy's knocked out. So they I believe they went to commercial or something like that. Then we come back to Jacob Fatu And Microman, he walks past him in the lobby and he sees that he's eating the mini donuts, and he starts eating mini donuts, and they start conversating and everything. I found it freaking hilarious. Like, please put Jacob Fatu and Microman together, because that is entertainment gold right there. Like, that is so funny, and just their interaction, and just right away, I'm just like, man, this is funny. Like, this is funny. This is cool. Like, all right, this is gonna be cool. Then, as Jacob Fatu leaves, you got one of Cesar Duran's henchmen. He has the chain, and he's about to approach Microman when Jacob Fatu comes back. He's like, "Hey man, what you doing? No. You get out of here." And he grabs Microman and he tells him to come on with him. So he saves him from being captured by Cesar Duran's henchmen. Then we get the match between Scarlett Bordeaux and Clara Carreras, and it was basically a squash match. Scarlett was just very aggressive early on. She did a running hip attack, and then she did the Scarlet Letter pin. 1, 2, 3. She wins. It just basic. And of course, we know that Scarlett is in WWE now. So again, if you're watching MLW and you see Scarlett and Killer Kross, this was taped right before they signed with WWE and they returned. So that way you're like, wait a minute, they're working double promotions. Oh my God. And like, no, they're not working. This was before. So there you go. Then we get an interview, not backstage, but actually in the arena with Taya Valkyrie. And before she could say anything, she was attacked by Brittany Blake. And Brittany Blake choked out Taya Valkyrie with a wire. So apparently we're going to have some type of feud with Brittany Blake and Taya Valkyrie over the MLW Women's Middleweight Championship, which should be fun. I've seen some videos, some matches of Brittany Blake, and gonna be a pretty interesting match. I look forward to that match. Then we get a promo with Alex Kane and Myron Reed, and Alex Kane's like, I used to look up to you. And then he's like, next week is Boom-I-A, Alex Kane versus David Richards. And then they announced that it's going to be Killer Kross and Matt Cross next week. So again, you're going to see Killer Kross next week on MLW. But man, Alex Kane versus David Richards, going to be a fun match, man. That is going to be a fun physical match. Do not sleep on that, and I recommend you guys watch that match. Then the main event, you got Real One versus Jacob Fatu. Real One attacks Jacob Fatu's leg with a lead pipe. Jacob Fatu came out first, and he just came from behind, hit him in the, it was weird because he hit him in his right leg. He worked his left leg and his right leg. So he worked both his legs, which was kind of weird, because I was like, wait a minute, you worked the leg that you hit the leg pipe on, then you worked the other leg, and then you, like, all right, it is what it is. But yeah, after he hits him with the leg pipe, he gets the microphone, Real One, Enzo More, and he's talking trash. He's talking so much stuff to Jacob Fatu as the MLW officials are walking him to the back, and he's like, if you're not SOFT soft, you'll get in the ring. And it's like, ooh, that's a throwback. Like, ooh, I like that. So he calls out Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu runs back in the ring. They start going at it. Real One goes after his right knee. Then he attempts to do a splash when Jacob Fatu drop kicks him in midair. Please go watch this episode, because seeing that drop kick that Jacob Fatu executed while Real One, Enzo More, got hit with, please watch it, because, man, Jacob Fatu that brother is agile, man. Do not sleep on that dude, man. The brother is agile, man. So then you had a low blow on Fatu, and the ref. I forgot about that. He hit both the ref and Jacob Fatu with a low blow, which right away, double DQ. They are both brawling. And then you had Jacob Fatu, he was just rolling on the ground, and then you had the officials trying to get Enzo More under control and everything, and then you have Jacob Fatu jump on the top turnbuckle and just splash on everyone, and then Enzo runs to the back, and that was the episode of MLW. That quick. I like that. It was 1 hour, but they got to the point. They were very punctual with what they wanted to tell the audience and the wrestling fans. And those are wrestling programs that, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing more 1 hour programs from professional wrestling companies. I think the days of having 2-3 hour shows, granted, WWE makes a lot of money and stuff like that with that. That's just their thing. But I think outside of WWE, I think you're going to start seeing more 1 hour shows because, let's face it, if you're doing 2 hours, you're going to need, maybe 6 matches, and you're going to have to refresh that 52 weeks out the year. But if you have 1 hour, that's 3 matches. You can keep it, very punctual with what you want to tell. And I don't know. I think that might be the future in pro wrestling. But man, the real one, Jacob Fatu feud. I did not know I needed that feud, and I did not know I wanted that feud, and I want to see more of this feud. More because of the back and forth verbiage, and I love Jacob Fatu's delivery and promos. I enjoy Real One Enzo More's promos. I liked his back and forth with Tama Tonga a few years ago. Man, when you got talkers and, you got two talkers in a feud, man, that's entertaining. If they deliver in the ring, that's on them. And these guys, Jacob Fatu can deliver in the ring, and just they have no worries with these two. I'm looking forward to where this feud goes with MLW because, man, this is something that's really cool, really interesting. Like I said, the growth that Real One Enzo More has done in the last 2 years, man, he's done a 180. He's really grown, as well as his former partner W. Morrissey. Man, it's just good to see those guys really do what they love to do and just being back on track to, like, man, okay, man, they got some good things in store for them. But man, Jacob Fatu, Real One, Enzo Amore, man, this is going to be fun for MLW. So I recommend you guys stay tuned, watch MLW. It's fun, it's entertaining, it's a fun complementary alternative to whatever wrestling you watch because there's guys there that can go. So that is my review for the season premiere of MLW Fusion from November 10th, 2022. Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the notifications whenever you're notified when the House of Wrestling drops its latest content. Follow me, Dedrian180, on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. And with that, man, there's a lot of wrestling coming in the next 2 weeks. So next week you're gonna have Full Gear. Then the week after you're gonna have WWE Survivor Series. So it's a lot to consume. So I hope you guys have fun. I'm gonna have fun, and I'm gonna share my fandom with you guys, like always, next week. So with that, I'm out, guys.